happens when you follow all the rules and still get blamed? And worse, you have to pay big. Steve Noviello is with us this morning to show how someone did everything they were told in turning in an old phone, and they ended up still on the hook, Steve?
Yeah, this is exactly why people call us for help. She even used the prepaid postage provided by the carrier, but that device went missing. Well, it turns out she is not alone.
Purple, for sure.
When it was time for Zara Herrera of Hearst to upgrade her iPhone 12, she said it was an easy call to make because when it comes to her AT&T service,
I love it.
Their customer service, however,
I didn't love it anymore.
Here's why.
I was doing a trading, so I had an iPhone 12. Then I changed it for an iPhone 14 Pro Purple.
But instead of a purple device, they accidentally shipped a black one. She contacted AT&T immediately and was told, no problem, we can swap it out. Just use the return prepaid shipping label provided.
So I sent it back with that prepaid label, but that was in October of last year. And in November, they told me that they never received the phone.
Here's the notice she received. Take a look. It points to a penalty, roughly $1,000 for the missing device. She called the carrier, who pointed to possibly protracted processing times.
They told me, oh, don't worry about it. Sometimes it takes longer. So we just leave it like that. Everything was going to be okay, right?
That was the last she heard, or so she thought. Then 5 months later, in March of this year, another notice telling her to pay up or else.
I received another email saying that they never received the phone again and I owe them $1,000. That's a lot of money. And they told me in AT&T that they were going to send me to collection.
Having thought the issue was resolved because so much time had passed, her tracking number was long gone. She called customer service to get it. No luck.
Everybody was giving me like different information, but no one could give me a tracking number.
So she came back here to the post office to try and retrieve a record of the shipment.
They told me, unfortunately, we don't keep the records after 45 days. And one of the guys, he was like, oh, what happened? Just let me guess. It's AT&T again.
She thought she was out of options and reached out for help.
No one could help me. But after I reached you, I don't know, like something magical happened, and finally it was resolved. So I'm very glad with you.
We were able to work directly with AT&T to get Zara's account properly credited, even though a company spokesperson tells us, quote, there was nothing to indicate that this device was sent back to us. We are crediting this customer's account as a courtesy. Zara says she got a conflicting story when the office of the president at AT&T called her to tell her the problem had been resolved.
This lady was very helpful. He told me, don't worry about it. We received the phone.
AT&T calls the incident uncommon, especially when you consider, quote, we handle millions of returns a year without any issues. But Zara,
when I was reading, it was kind of like the same story.
Points to dozens and dozens of complaints online from other AT&T customers who tell the exact same story. Take a look. They report missing phones and missing credits, accounts subject to collections with four-figure balances, all after using AT&T's own prepaid shipping label to send back a device. Many of the concerns posted to AT&T's own forum on its website.
They know that it is happening.
AT&T advises, quote, it can take 2 to 3 billing cycles for a customer to see the promotional credit from a trade-in on their wireless bill, and suggests customers should save their shipping receipt in case there's a problem.
But I'm glad I'm not going to have to pay the $1,000.
Zara held on to her receipt for months before she tossed it, something she says she thought was the right call.
AT&T would not agree to an on-camera interview with us, but they did say they thought it was only fair that we research whether or not T-Mobile and Verizon have customers who complained about return shipping. They do, just not to us. My advice here, if you have to return expensive items, you're best to do so in person.
See, that's why every time you go in, they say, you want to trade in, you want to trade? I'm like, I'll keep this iPhone 8. No, I really did upgrade, but it took me a while. All right, Thanks, Steve.